Welcome back to our learning series. In this video, we're going to talk about how to navigate while you're inside of the video studio. Let's get started by resuming a project that we started in the last video, which was the Meet John video. We'll give it a second to load here. This is a good reminder to make sure that you stay patient with the software, okay? Sometimes it may take a little longer than we would like to load all these elements, but remember, video projects tend to be massive files. So if you don't have amazing Wi-Fi, things can get even slower. First of all, let me explain what you're looking at on the screen right now. We're going to break this down by direction. You have the right side, the left side, the bottom, and the top. And they all serve a really specific category of functions. So what do I mean by that? We'll start with the tools, which is where you're going to add elements to the video. All of your tools are going to be over here to the right side. When you want to add characters, when you want to add objects, which are called props inside the software. For example, if you want to add different objects like hand sanitizer or gloves, these are called props. If you want to add shapes, if you want to add images, if you want to add text, if you want to change the background or maybe change the entire scene, all of those options would fall under the category of your tools. And again, those are found right here along the right-hand side. You can even change the animation style. That's also going to be found on the right side. We've talked about the whiteboard animation, the modern edge, and the cartoon. Those are your 2D types of animation styles. Infographics are like your charts and graphs, and then you have the real style, which would include your PowerPoint presentations or videos that include actual people. So that's a quick overview of the right side. Again, those are the tools. Now, over here on the left side, you have the scenes and slides. These are the individual scenes and slides that are included in your current video. You can choose to add a scene. You can also add a blank scene. If you choose to add a scene, it's going to ask you what type of scene that you would like to add. Those options are over here on the right. So let's get out of that and go back here, and we can simply add a blank scene. You can also delete a scene. I'm doing all this by clicking on these three dots. Those display a menu. Another option that's available is duplicating a scene, which is exactly what you'd think. It gives you an exact copy of the scene that you choose. The menu includes Save a Scene. Your saved scenes are going to be easily accessible right here. You click on scenes to get to them. Your saved scenes will be right here. You can delete them or remove them from the library. This tool just makes the scenes really easy to get to. All right, so that's the left side. That's where you want to edit your scenes. Down here at the bottom, you have what we like to call the timeline. The timeline is where you're going to be able to edit when things enter and when things exit your scenes. The timing of your entire video and the timing of this particular scene can both be found on the timeline. You can also see where things like props pop up. For example, this brain pops up at 4 seconds on each scene. Again, each scene has its own timeline, and the timeline is determined by the length of that particular scene. This scene that we're looking at right now is 8 seconds long. So that's the overall gist of how the timeline works. We'll get more specific on how to edit the timeline later on, but it's important to have an overall general idea of what the timeline is for right now. All right, let's move on to the top portion of the screen. The top is what we like to call operational functions. You can switch the style of your template. It gives you options on creating things. When you add to your video, edit your video, or if you just want to take things away, you can find those functions at the top. Some other things you can do, you can preview. There's an undo. There's a redo option. You can change the title. You can even save your video up here. By the way, you want to do that often just in case your internet or the software crashes. It's nothing worse than losing a bunch of work you just did. All right, back to preview. You can preview it from a slideshow, or you can preview it from the total video standpoint. You can also export your video. You can export it with an external link, download it into a video file, download it as an image, download it as an animated GIF, and it also gives you a whole bunch of other different options right here, and these are all ways to export your video. Some of these are for uses for other software. All right, so that's your overall video studio tutorial. You've got your 4 sides, each with their own set of functions. The tools are on the right side. The things that we add to our video, like characters, writing, which are text objects, props, and shapes, those are all going to be along the right side. The left side is where we have our scenes or slides. We can add scenes, we can add blank scenes, extend scenes, save current scenes, we can delete scenes and duplicate scenes. All of that happens right here on the left-hand side. We can also move scenes by dragging them around. On the bottom, we have our timeline. This is where we edit the timing of scenes and props. We can determine when they enter and when they exit. We can see how long our video is and even see how long a particular scene is. We can adjust the total timing of that scene. The scene is now 6 seconds. You can use these little plus and minus buttons here. You can move those up or down. So if we hit down, now it's 5 seconds. That's how the timeline works. And then at the top, we've got our operational functions. We can undo, redo, we can take away an entire scene. We can edit the name of the video. Go ahead and recall this one test. We can save the video. It also has an autosave feature, and that lets us know when our Powtoon is saved. We can preview the video and we can export videos, which means we can share our video in a whole bunch of different ways. All right, thank you for joining us for this video, and I hope to see you for the next one.